Quite apart from the crisis in the banks, the Credit Suisse and the SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, quite apart from that, and I think we should be reassured that our response to the SVB particularly was successful. The SVB subsidiary bit, the British bit, was not able or didn't have to send its money back to its SVB mothership in California, but it could be bought up by other banks here, by the HSBC here, and its customers could be saved. That's a remarkable achievement, actually, and that's a result of systems put in place over the last few years. However, the other stuff that's been happening this week, particularly with the budget, is not as attractive. It all happens against the background of rising interest rates. That means that mortgages go up, it impacts mortgages, and it also impacts house prices or assets which go down. And that's actually why the banks are having problems, because the banks with big exposure have been hit by this rise in interest rates. So then with the budget itself, with Mr. Hunt, the impression that he gives is that it's all good. I really don't see that. We can see that energy bills are going up, although the price of energy is now going to settle because Europe has found a way of living with the Russian energy bills. It's ignoring its Russian energy, and it's found other sources of energy. So that's great. Really, our energy bills should be going down. But because of the government subsidies already in place, those energy bills are going to continue to remain high. In fact, they're likely to go up next year. The childcare support, is that real or not? Well, I would imagine quite a number of smaller nurseries will close because they won't be able to offset the free place, the free places they're now obliged to provide by charging the earth for other places, because now effectively the government is offering free places throughout the nursery system. And that may in fact have a negative effect. Now, is this going to drive more people to remain at work, or is this going to drive more people back to work? I'm not even convinced about that. I think what it might do is drive more people who are in part-time work to go into nearly full-time work if they've got small children. Those people who are unfortunate enough to have small children who are now about 3 or 4 are, of course, going to miss any benefits at all. And at a time when the OBR is saying very clearly that over the next 2 years, we're going to see a 6% fall in our incomes. That's the highest fall that we've had in 100 years. So I don't think it's just in 50 years. I think it's in 100 years. And on top of that, we've got a situation where Mr. Hunt has given out money to the richest in the country, to people with big pensions, the rich people with big pensions. This cap on pensions is going to make richer people richer. Now, of course, it's with the best intentions. And as far as I can see, the best intentions are to try and keep doctors working because of a mess in the tax system. If doctors continue working for too long, then they lose all their tax advantages, and in fact they suddenly get hit with a huge tax bill when they retire. So this will stop doctors retiring too early, but it may be too little too late. In the meantime, it will cost a huge amount of money and will only benefit the really rich. It will also have an ongoing effect on what are those things when you die? Inheritance tax. It will make that easier. So in other words, it's going to be bringing in less money for the government. I'm not sure this has been very well thought through. It's making people in retirement a lot richer. Now, it's not been thought through, I think, in terms of the overall economy. In terms of electoral politics, I think it may have been thought through rather well. Because the Conservative Party depends, its core vote is essentially older people. That older group of people are getting bigger. There's more older people. There's more people drawing on pensions. People who are moving into a pensionable age now, because of this government, are going to get more money. They might indeed choose to retire earlier, actually. It may go in exactly the wrong direction. But maybe these people are going to feel loyal to the Conservative Party and therefore are going to vote for them. So I don't think this is a budget for growth. I think this is a budget for an election. This is an election budget in all but name. And is it clever? Not really. Mr. Hunt is not, the cleverest pencil in the pencil case. But then this isn't supposed to be a pencil-based video. Those are all for Matt Hancock. Oh, Gina, another HB pencil. But, I thought it was getting a bit boring, so let's bring in some stationary humour.